Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Ring, 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 back to school learning. Accel Finance, help the joy of learning. Ring, 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 your future is bright. With the Accel loan, help you get started right. Backpacks, the uniform is on. Accel Finance, we let them to success. No worries, no stress. We got your back, better Accel loan and keep them on track. Ring, 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 back to school learning. Accel Finance, help the joy of learning.
Accelerate your kids' education today with an Accel Back to School loan. Visit today or call us on 435-8222.
Ring, 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 back to school learning. Accel Finance, help the joy of learning.
Infinite Contractors and Machinery. We are your one-stop engineering and consultancy company with experience locally, regionally, and internationally. We provide excavation services and engineering consultancy, construction of residential and commercial structures, civil works such as drainage, retaining walls, roads, concrete patio services, paving services, concrete driveway services, remodeling and renovation, painting services, styling services, and so much more. Ask about our rental services of excavators, heavy equipment, metal formwork, and steel prop. Contact us today via telephone number 537-9675 or email infinitecontractors19@gmail.com.
And of course, we're saying hello, 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 and welcome to another Mikey Live program. My name is Mikey Hutchinson, and for those of you wondering, we are coming to you live from the spice side of the Caribbean, that is Grenada. And of course, this is the best part of the Caribbean, and we have it all, everything that you need. Beautiful sunshine, warm and friendly people. We've got rain, we've got sun. We've got the animals. We've got the Mona monkeys that we promote that so much. I mean, we have so many things to make a perfect vacation for you and your family. If you would just give us a try. Welcome to those of you who are always on the program. We call you the usual suspects, and those of you who are here, for the first time, well, hello, hello again. So, folks, we have a few things to talk to you about as we speak. By the way, we've got the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, to which we've got two Grenadians on that team, Captain Andre Fletcher and bowler and batsman. We've got Ryan John as well, and we're looking for a win tonight. So far, it ain't looking too pretty for us, but that's all right. We are bowling still, and of course, we are capable of making the runs. We just have to apply ourselves, as they say. All right, so we are actually hoping for the best where that is concerned. A few things that we are going to be talking about tonight as we enter into the peak of the hurricane season. We'll tell you what officials are saying. All right. As well, the Caribbean Airlines, they have confirmed the threat that's been received at its call center. We've got an update for you when it comes to what's happening down at Molina area with the water, people who are being served by the Concord water system. I know that of late you've been having issues with your water. We'll talk to you about that. We have an update for you from NAWASA regarding that, all right? When it comes to agriculture, we are going to be hearing about the use of other pest controlling strategies rather than using chemicals. Right, so we have got officials who are talking about that. People go to chemicals. Chemicals is like the go-to thing, but they're advising against it if you can find alternative means of controlling your pests. Yep. So we have a few things to talk to you about, so we will talk in a while. I'll let you know that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of Coats Grenada Limited, Digicel, NAWASA, Real Value IGA Supermarket, Superb Distributors, Infinite Contractors, And we also have on board with us the Axel Finance. Folks, we're taking a break, and when we come back, it could be real news in all your Lily Lolo. So brace yourselves. We will be back.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches, and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess, and Klein, and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Yes, I. So again, welcome to another Mikey Live program. So the conversations is been had regarding the cane co-workers. You understand? Now there are some workers that are represented by unions, and one of them unions say, well, this whole thing take us by surprise because we were in talks with the company, and so they were shocked to hear that the company has been sold, and so the workers are now in a position where they will be demanding their severance packages. I know that some might be safer than some, like the unionized workers. I'm not sure to what extent some of those workers are not unionized, but the unionized workers are, as I understand it, going to be receiving a decent package. Yeah, but nice talk, because when it happens, we'll be able to see. Right, but there are concerns regarding the workers receiving their payoffs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? As always, you'll hear these kind of conversations being had. So, William, let's get down to some serious business. An explosion of tropical disturbances are now over the Atlantic and the Caribbean Sea. All right, as we now enter into the peak season. You understand? One, in non-tropical area of low pressure located a few hundred miles east of North Carolina is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. This system could acquire some subtropical characteristics over the next few days as it moves northeastward, all right, remaining offshore of the northeastern United States. Additional information on this system will be given to you if we think it is necessary, all right? So we're monitoring that. Then a tropical wave moving quickly westward at about 20 miles per hour is producing a broad area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms across portions of the central Caribbean Sea. Some development is possible early next week when the system moves over the southwest Gulf of Mexico. So you see, I just wanted to make sure that you have a good look at it. So we told you about two. And then there's a third. Another tropical wave located several hundred miles east of the Lesser Antilles, and it is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms activity. Now, development of this system, if any, is expected to be slow to occur over the next couple of days while it moves northwestward at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Environmental conditions are expected to become less favorable for additional development by the end of the week. There is a fourth system, all right? An elongated trough of low pressure over the eastern tropical Atlantic. It is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Some slow development of this system is possible during the next few days while it drifts westward, all right? Now, in terms of formation chance, it's not very much over the next 48 hours. It's just about 10%, and the formation chance over a 7-day period is just about 20%. So you have an idea. All right. So, yep, it is expected September is usually the month. Now, speaking of the month, okay. Yes, the United Nations Weather and Climate Agency chief is saying that rising temperatures should and could trigger a global red alert after global heat indices again smashed records in August. Now, preliminary data for the EU's climate monitor noted that the world saw record average temperatures in August for the second year running. You understand? Now, the heat of the World Meteorological Organization, the head of the World Meteorological Organization, WMO, you understand, is saying that it is clear that the temperatures are rising. And it is because the action is not enough. You understand? So we need to do more. Try to reduce, do whatever we can to prevent the world or temperatures from rising. You understand? Warmer sea temperatures is the perfect environment for the formation of tropical cyclones. You understand? And puts us in harm's way every year for 6 months of the year. You understand? So earlier, something needs to be done, but they're saying August, record high again. You understand? What are we going to do, boy? Anyway, there we go, Papa. So the next thing that we have to tell you about, Caribbean Airlines. I don't know if you already hear about that, but that's the talk of the town. They have confirmed that a threat had been received at its call center in Trinidad, but that the threat was not made against the airline. The security officials in Guyana, they have launched an investigation into a bomb threat made against the Cherry Jagan International Airport and CAL. Okay? In a brief statement, CAL said it is advising that a threat was received on Sunday, September 1st via its call center in Trinidad. The statement added, however, the threat was not made against the airline. The information received was shared with the relevant authorities and the matter is being investigated. And that's what CAL is saying. Police in Guyana, they have confirmed that an investigation into the threat is ongoing and that the authorities have so far determined that the call originated from Guyana. Now, media reports said that during the phone call, a man who indicated that he was calling from Guyana warned of a life and death situation that could take place at the Cherry Jagan International Airport in Guyana and aboard a Caribbean airline flight. All right, according to CMC, the Guyana-based online publication News Source, which said that it had heard the rambling phone call, reported that the man claimed to have been part of a group that was planning an incident against the airline and the local airport. He said he was no longer part of the group, but warned the authorities about what was being planned. Understand? They say, while he was questioned about the threat, he told the airline employee that she was asking too many questions and demanded to speak to a manager of the airline, according to news sources. It said that the telephone companies operating in Guyana have been contacted to assist with the investigations and a possible trace of the call. You understand? Okay, so now, just last week, a threat was issued against the Marriott Hotel in Georgetown, but the authorities later determined that it was a prank, and there were now no arrests in that case. So, we now know, but of course, we have to tell a little for what it's worth. Right? It's a report from CMC anyway, so we thought it's important to at least share that with you. That's the talk that's out there. Now, the next thing that we're telling you about tonight, NAWASA. Now, they have their lot. I'm sorry for them NAWASA workers. Otis and them are sorry for all you. Oh boy. So NAWASA, they are working on both temporary and permanent solutions to restore the water supply to communities affected by continuous frequent outages caused by the rupture of its pipeline at the site of the Molyneux Road project. As a result, consumers served by NAWASA's Concord water system, which feeds parts of St. John and St. George, have faced significant water disruptions in the past week. And so now we are going to hear an update from NAWASA.
We were advised by the contractor and the contracting team that the lands where the pipe is relatively unstable and it's causing the pipe to shift and causing it to break. So over the weekend, the entire area was severely affected. We did a complete assessment over the weekend, and we are in the process now of doing a temporary fix. But the works at Molyneux is also very much advanced on the road, and the contractor would have given us the green light to go ahead with the installation of the permanent line across the bridge or across the project. The solution that we're employing for the next couple of days is going to be temporary. So once you are getting water, please store as best as you can, because it's going to be intermittent, because the amount of water that is required for the demand, we are not going to get that with the temporary solution that we're employing. We're just trying to alleviate the situation in the meantime while we install the permanent solution along the newly constructed Molyneux byway of Molyneux Road. We're in the planning stage of that now. It's going to take us about 2 weeks to get that line in place. In the meantime, we are doing a secondary temporary solution to get the water to continue down to Molyneux. Hopefully that should be finished by this and Wednesday. In the meantime, the solution is temporary, so the water supply to some areas may still be affected. So persons need to take note of that. We want that if you are in the higher elevated areas and by Wednesday, Thursday of this week, you're not seeing any sight of water, you're still not getting water in your lines, even if it's in the evening or in the nighttime when the pressure builds up. And again, this is so because it's a temporary solution. So this is still not the sufficient amount of water that is going to be coming down the lines. It's a temporary solution while we get the permanent lines on the bridge sorted out. So we're aware that there are going to be some shortages here and there, but we want persons to advise us straight away if you're not getting water when the system come back on. But if you're not getting water in the high areas, let us know. Our intention is to deploy the water trucks and so on in these areas if they continue to be affected.
Yeah, all right. So that's an important piece right there for you. So the next thing is, when we see pests, farmers, when you work so hard and you have your ting, you really don't want to have pests around your plants and so. So we head for the pesticides and stuff like that. But we have Mr. Michael Ramsey, consultant for the Rotterdam Convention, recently led a one-day workshop in Grenada on highly hazardous pesticides, HHP. And he was highlighting some of the common mistakes that he has seen across the Caribbean, and urged farmers and others to look for other means, if you can, to control your pests. Look outside of the chemical box, as he would say.
The big problem that I have seen in the Caribbean is that we use a lot of pesticides, but the farmers and others who are using them do not understand that there can be a problem to their health, and also that the users are not protecting themselves with personal protective equipment. Even though they may know about it, they're just not following up by using it. And they need to make better choices as to what pesticides they're going to use, and also to think outside of the chemical box and use other methods for controlling pests than just pesticides. I was able yesterday to go to several pesticide retail shops and see what products are being sold and under what conditions, and also to get a feel for how the persons working in those stores approach the whole issue of hazardous pesticides and what they sell to people. So the main problem that I saw is that the more highly hazardous pesticides were available unrestricted. And so they're on the shelf open for anybody to pick up. The second thing is that some of the pesticides, the labeling was not adequate, or that the print was so fine that it wasn't readable. But by and large, other than those two things, I think the pesticide retailers were doing a reasonable job. Farmers need to read the labels of the pesticides and find out if there are health hazards or hazards to the environment associated with them, and then they have to carefully decide what risks they are prepared to accept when they are using the pesticide. And of course they have to protect themselves, because the motto should be there's no such thing as a safe pesticide.
Because you know what, you do see pesticides out there that says, well, it is safe to do this and it's safe to do that, even with the sites too. You understand? But anyway, yeah, boy. So thank you very much for sharing that knowledge with us. The farmers will be happy about that. Okay. So there are some farmers who were affected by the Hurricane Beryl. You understand? A lot of farmers. And you know what's going to happen is that the government, they have this program that is aimed at assisting the farmers. Yeah. So please be advised, the Ministry of Agriculture requires all agro-farmer businesses to please provide an assessment of damages sustained by your businesses by Wednesday, 11th September 2024. That is to facilitate this assessment. They have I think like a QR code on the web page of the Ministry of Agriculture. All right, so please go get it. There's a link there as well. Go get it and organize yourself. All right, there's a form and everything there for you. Now the ministry will thereafter be in contact with individuals who have signed up to advise of the financial assistance that they are going to get. All right. And of course, that's going all the way up to $4,500. And I know that I've heard from some farmers who say, well, that money don't enough for the damages that they sustain, that can do nothing. I hear one farmer say, well, they're getting the money too late because they need it right now. So there are a lot of things that you're hearing from the farmers, but this, for now, is what we're hearing from the ministry. The ministry is saying that you need to send in your info and ting, and they go sort out. All right, good. What else? Let me see what else I have for you. All right, so I think I could take a little break right now. Yes, I think I could take a little break. Before I go on the break, Java, you know what we said we wanted to do, right? And we could probably try that and see how it works. Yeah, so I would like to big up to the people, say big up to the people on the program by Java and the entire crew who makes it their duty. People, yeah, people like Java and them, they never miss a program. How it is that they do it, I don't know. But the reality is they don't miss a program, and they are there encouraging people to share the program, share the business, share, you know. So I would like to say thank you to them for being so loyal to what it is that we do. All right, Java and the others, you have no idea of how much that means to me. You don't have to. So loyal. Oh Lord. What it is. Yeah, you don't have to, but you do it anyway. So big up to Java, Kenisha, Bernadette, Adonna as well, Hazel, Diana, Loris, Brenda, Michelle, Leonora, you understand? The whole crew. Yeah, man. Just have to say blessings to you, right? Kenisha and the others. Blessings to you. And as well, we have a crew of them on YouTube. Like people like Laverne and Marcus and my mom and everybody else who's always on our YouTube channel. By the way, folks, we are live simultaneously on our YouTube channel. So we have to say big up to them as well. They're always there telling people to share, ting. Margaret Ann, Tonya, you know. Yes, yeah, just really know what they had it. Hillary. So anyway, blessings, Catherine. I see that you're there as well. So here's what we are going to do. All right. I just want to take a quick break, and when I come back, when I come back from the break, we will have for you the national report, and we will also have for you. Oh no, let me go. One more thing before we do that. I told that I owe my team the names that I just called. I automatically adjustment, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Let me check to see if I see the weather there. Yeah, we're doing things in a different order tonight. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let me see what we have here from the Met Office. Weather is expected to be mostly fair with light to moderate showers overnight. Winds east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas light to moderate with waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. All right. So that's our weather report. We're taking a break, and we are coming back with the national report. Stay right there.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Ring, back to school hunting. Accel Finance help the joy of learning. Ring, your future is bright. With the Accel loan, help your kids start right. Backpacks, the uniform is on. Accel Finance will let them to succeed. No worries, no stress. We got your back, better Accel loan and keep them on track. Ring, back to school hunting. Accel Finance help the joy of learning.
Accelerate your kids' education today with an Accel Back to School loan. Visit today or call us on 435-8222.
Ring, back to school hunting. Accel Finance help the joy of learning.
Ever wonder how water goes from its natural source to coming out of our tap crystal clear and safe to drink? Well, let me introduce you to NAWASA! Grenada's National Water and Sewage Authority. They are the water wizards behind it all. Yay! A whopping 95% of all water comes from surface sources. This water might look muddy now, but wait until you see the transformation. First, they add a non-toxic chemical to the water. This brings particles together, forming clumps in a process called coagulation. Next, a gentle stir helps the particles clump together. This is called flocculation. Gravity does its thing and the clumps settle to the bottom. This is sedimentation. Then the water is passed through a bed of sand. This filtration removes up to 95% of bacteria. See the difference? Now our water is clear and nearly bacteria free. Lastly, chlorine is added for disinfection, killing any remaining bacteria and making the water safe to drink. And that, my friends, is how NAWASA brings pure, refreshing water from their surface sources to our pipes, our wash pan, our buckets, whatever you think about.
This advertisement is the first in a series showcasing NAWASA's operations. Stay tuned for more in-depth insights into our services and initiatives.
Infinite Contractors and Machinery. We are your one-stop engineering and consultancy company with experience locally, regionally, and internationally. We provide excavation services and engineering consultancy, construction of residential and commercial structures, civil works such as drainage, retaining walls, roads, concrete patio services, paving services, concrete driveway services, remodeling and renovation, painting services, styling services, and so much more. Ask about our rental services of excavators, heavy equipment, metal formwork, and steel prop. Contact us today via telephone number 537-9675 or email infinitecontractors19@gmail.com.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches, and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess, and Klein, and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Anything, anywhere, at any time, and have it delivered to you right here in Grenada at yogo.gd.
This is the GIS News for Wednesday, September 4th, 2024. I am Rikisha St. Louis. In the headlines, NAWASA strengthens water systems in preparation for increased demands and upcoming dry season. And Health Minister calls on Grenadians to be more supportive and compassionate toward healthcare providers. We'll have details to these stories and more when we return.
We're excited to introduce our new digital school uniform assistance program designed to make shopping for school supplies easier for you. In this video, we'll guide you through the simple steps to use your QR code grant voucher for school supplies and uniform products. So, let's get started. Successful recipients will receive a text message and/or email from our processing provider, WePay. Applicants who do not receive a text or email can contact the Ministry of Education's Student Support Services Unit to find out if their application was successful. Applicants who receive a text or SMS message should have the following link on their phone. Please note that this is a text message and not a WhatsApp or other messaging services type communication. This is an example of what the text or SMS message will look like. Please note that you will need internet access to click the link in the text message to view your QR code. We highly recommend that you take a picture or screenshot of this QR code in the event that you do not have internet access while shopping. This is what the QR code will look like. For recipients who received an email, the format is quite similar, and this is what that email will look like. Please check for an email from support@wepaytoday.com. Please check your email's junk or spam folder, as this communication may accidentally go to those folders. Once you receive your QR code, you can immediately begin shopping at the designated stores for your school supplies. To know the designated shopping areas in your community, you may contact the Student Support Services Unit at the Ministry of Education.
Welcome back. The National Water and Sewage Authority, NAWASA, says it is working toward improving its systems to accommodate the large demands on the network in Carriacou and Petite Martinique following Hurricane Beryl. Planning and Development Manager Wim Cox told GIS the authority anticipates an increase in the demands on the sister isle due to the damage sustained to several individual rainwater harvesting structures. Measures were implemented to ensure durability and consistency in its operations now for future dry seasons.
We appreciate that there's going to be a much higher demand on the system for the coming dry season. So we are doing all that we have to ensure that the system, that we have backup and spares and so on. So any issue with the system, we should be able to have it back up and running, or maintain it running during the entire period. Or if there is an issue, the downtime would be relatively short. Just to make sure that we don't have an acute or a challenge as relates to the plants and so being damaged during the upcoming dry period.
In Carriacou, after thorough assessments and minor repairs, the systems were operational in short order. Areas where there are no networks, water trucks distribute daily to residents. He highlighted progress made so far on the islands.
The damages sustained on the plants in Carriacou were not very, very major. More so for Carriacou than Petite Martinique, where we had more challenges on Petite Martinique with the loss of the intake pump and stuff like that. So Petite Martinique had some more challenges. Carriacou, our intake system stayed intact. The plant itself didn't sustain major damages, so we were able to have Carriacou up and running very shortly after the storm, and quick assessment, done some repairs here and there where we had leaks and so associated with the hurricane. So Carriacou was back up and operational in in a very short space of time. As it stands now, we are distributing through the network, and areas that where we don't have the network, we have fortunately gotten 2 water trucks loaned, one from a private business owner, and the other we got from our colleague or sister organization, that's the Barbados Water Authority. So those 2 trucks are in Carriacou and assisting with the water distribution.
In Petit Martinique, after extensive repairs, the system is finally working.
Petit Martinique, on the other hand, has, we could say, 99% coverage from a network standpoint. The hurricane would have left the plant there a bit more battered. We lost the roof. Luckily, the desalination plant in Petit Martinique is a containerized plant, so the actual plant itself didn't sustain any major damages. So we were also able to get it back up and running, not as fast as Carriacou, because it had some additional issues in terms of the intake line would have gotten impacted. Likewise, the intake pump had some issues, so we had a tiny bit or a bit more challenges on Petit Martinique, but to date, we've resolved all of these issues, and Petit Martinique 2 is up and running, not 100%, but sufficiently to keep water supply on the island going.
The Ministry of Health is heightening the public's awareness about an emerging mosquito-related illness known as Oropouche fever. Oropouche or sloth fever is spread to people primarily by the bite of infected biting minges and the Culex mosquitoes. Common symptoms include sudden onset of fever, severe headache, chills, muscle aches, and joint pain. Other symptoms can include sensitivity to light, dizziness, pain behind the eyes, nausea, vomiting, and rash. Acting Chief Environmental Health Officer Kenneth Hazard outlined how the virus is transmitted.
The Oropouche is really transmitted by what is called the midges and the Culex quinquefasciatus mosquito. So it is transmitted by the bite of the midges, as I said, and the Culex mosquito, similar to the way dengue fever is transmitted. So you must be bitten by an infected mosquito or one of the midges that are the vectors for that disease. That's how it's transmitted from one person to the next.
Minister for Health, Honorable Philip Telesford, says an individual who recently arrived in the island showed up at the General Hospital presenting signs of the Oropouche fever.
The Ministry of Health moved aggressively and immediately to isolate the patient and did immediate tests, both tests conducted here and the samples were sent to CAFA, Trinidad. Within 24 hours, we were able to get back test results on island, which confirmed a negative. Further to that, we got the results from CAFA Trinidad that confirmed also negative. We continue to be vigilant, to pay attention to what is happening around us, and to inform.
Symptoms typically last less than a week and can often reoccur a few days or a few weeks later. However, most people with Oropouche recover within several days to 1 month.
But what we don't want to do is to create panic. We have to be always conscious of how the disease is firstly spread. It is spread mainly through body fluids. And so we have to be conscious of that and pay attention. And so we continue to monitor what is happening in the Caribbean islands and North America as well as Europe. And as soon as we believe it is necessary to implement or border restrictions or anything of the sort, we will so do.
As of August 2024, South American countries such as Bolivia, Brazil, Colombia, Cuba, and Peru have reported significant outbreaks. The virus has crossed borders with over 20 cases recorded in the United States, primarily among travelers returning from Cuba, and Europe has also seen 19 reported cases this year. The government of Grenada is reminding all investors in its 7% bonds due 2030 of its scheduled meeting on Friday, September 6th, commencing at 10 a.m. The Ministry of Finance will provide a general update of the situation following Hurricane Beryl. The government of Grenada says it looks forward to ongoing engagement with its partners in rebuilding Grenada better and more resilient. All interested bondholders are kindly asked to register by visiting the Ministry of Finance website. Questions relevant to Friday's meeting can be addressed to Kerry Pear, head of the Debt Management Unit at the Ministry of Finance. His email address is kerrypear@dmu.gov.gd. The GIS News will continue after the break.
If there's one thing we know for sure, life is an unpredictable journey, full of twists and turns, but no matter where it takes you, the National Insurance Scheme is here, ready to support you every step of the way. Sickness benefits ensures that you can focus on recovery, not financial stress. Maternity allowance and grant provides essential support to start your beautiful journey of parenthood. The unemployment benefits act as a safety net, giving you peace of mind during challenging times. Employment injuries can be daunting, but NIS provides comprehensive coverage, including injury benefit, medical expenses, disablement, and death benefits. At NIS, your well-being is priority. Now you can face challenges confidently, knowing that support is just a claim away. Contact us today to find out more about the range of benefits or visit our website at www.nisgrenada.org.
Expert, I'm the mother. Home is where the heart is, where the heart is. I would like to tell nobody I love where I'm born. I come from the island. This place is so sweet, beautiful and
in Grenada, in St. John, in Guam.
I'm so proud to call you my home. Home sweet home, home sweet home, home sweet home. I'm so proud to call you my home. Home sweet home, home sweet home, home sweet home. As soon as you land, we welcome you with open arms. I know that it's sweet, yo. You never met people sweet, so this place is a paradise. It's a paradise. I know that it's sweet, yo. I know you go sweet, yo. Wait, come let we eat a island on the corner. Drink some coconut water. Head down to Ghana's beach and take a nice dip in the crystal waters. This place is so sweet, beautiful and unique. You see where I come from, yeah. Known as this Spice Island, somewhere you vacation. I'm so proud to call you my home. Home sweet home, home sweet home, home sweet home. I'm so proud to call you my home. Home sweet home, home sweet home, home sweet home. Come, come, let we head to the part I'm from. The north side of the island.
And so we're here to celebrate for heroes, Kirani, Lyndon, and Anderson, for the tremendous inspiration that you have placed in the hearts and minds of the next generation of Grenadians.
Thank you to everyone. Your contribution, your prayers. It was been so thank you. And let's get a special shout out to the whole team that was there in Paris. Everyone did their job, incredibly. Especially the two medalists. To be honest, they inspired me.
Lyndon, could you please join us here at the podium? The value of which is $176.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight candles will do. Tin stuff, garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane.
Welcome back. Minister for Health, Honorable Philip Telesford, is appealing to members of the public to be more compassionate and supportive of medical staff serving across the state, specifically the General Hospital. Nurses and doctors at the General Hospital have been on the receiving end of major backlash in recent weeks, particularly following the death of 2 infant girls and a mother in childbirth. In an interview on Tuesday, Minister Telesford noted that nurses are the backbone of the healthcare system.
Our nurses, doctors, and support staff at the General Hospital are the backbone of our healthcare system. As a matter of fact, not just the General Hospital, but throughout the entire health system. They work tirelessly, often under challenging conditions, to provide the best possible care for our community. Our healthcare workers have consistently demonstrated unwavering commitment and compassion. They are on the forefront, saving lives and providing critical care every single day.
In a recent news release, the Ministry of Health noted that while the health service delivery is fraught with numerous challenges, it remains committed to improving the quality of care given to all who access the services.
We know for a fact that there will always be room for improvement. As expectations and demand change, we must work together to support our healthcare professionals, rather than cast blame, in order to foster a more resilient and effective healthcare system that is dedicated to improve service delivery for better health outcomes. Ladies and gentlemen, our healthcare professionals deserve our respect, they deserve our support, they deserve our gratitude. While we must address any shortcomings in the system, it is equally important to recognize the extraordinary efforts they make every single day.
Minister Telesford reiterated that the goal is to ensure that all patients receive the best possible medical care at local health facilities, and nurses and doctors continuously work to uphold the highest standards in healthcare. He's asking that people around the nation come together to support them and show compassion and understanding.
Encourage them continually, motivate them, inspire them to work harder and to be more committed to their work. Let us together show unity as we seek to build a more resilient and supportive healthcare environment for all our citizens.
The ministry says in the wake of the claims alleging medical negligence following the deaths, an internal review of both incidents is taking place as the health, safety, and well-being of all patients are paramount. Prevention, intervention, and rehabilitation, the three-phased approach identified for the project Stop and Think, going into various Grenadian communities. The program has 3 phases, the community intervention being the second. International Crime Reduction Specialist Dr. Niels Chaitan said it was of utmost importance to intervene using the 3 phases to reduce crime statistics in Grenada.
Number 1, prevention. And my wife works along with us, and she is a certified, she's a certified parenting coach, right? So we start from the home. If young parents are having a problem with raising the children, right, my wife would come in. So she's on our team. We go early, and if people want to see her, they could see her, right? That's prevention. But we also go into high schools. in the grade schools and high schools, running programs, and that will be the prevention piece of the program. Then the intervention piece is what we do now in the communities, right? But there's a third piece, which is rehabilitation, because we are trying to reduce recidivism, which is reoffending, right? And so what do? We go into the prison, meet with the guys from that particular community, talk to them, teach them the same concept that the community is getting. So when they come out, they come in a little more prepared.
He says the project is designed for young men in particular to make informed decisions, especially when faced with conflict. However, women can benefit as well.
We are saying down with the guns, but we are not saying stop and think. Because if I'm angry and I don't get a gun, I'll take a cutlass. And if I don't take a cutlass, I'll take a stone or I'll take a piece of wood. Because the anger is in me. I'm not thinking about it. But guess what? When you would have done it and they have you in the cell now, you start thinking and say, oh my God, why? It's too late, right? So what we do, we teach you before. What are the signs of anger? You see, that's what we go into. We go into the neuroscience of a thing. What are the signs of anger? How to deal with revenge? How to deal with, anger, the intrinsic and extrinsic factors. Stop and think is not only for men. We emphasize men, right? The emphasis on the men. But they bring the girlfriends, and that's great. Because we want them to see the relationship. How a man thinks, how a woman thinks, and why we have so much problems in the home. It's because you don't understand that. So come, let me teach you. Sit down. Understand.
Everyone in Action for Climate Change Adaptation, that's the rallying cry for a series of upcoming community meetings focused on climate change, adaptation and resilience, organized by the National Adaptation Plan team within the Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy in partnership with the NAP Global Network and the G-Cruise Project. These meetings aim to bring vital conversations to the heart of the local communities. National Adaptation Officer Dr. Roxanne Graham highlights the increasing impacts of climate change, noting that we are experiencing hotter days, heavier rainfall, and stronger hurricanes. These effects are particularly significant for citizens of small island developing states. The goal of these community meetings is to hear directly from residents about their experiences and to explore sustainable methods of adaptation.
We experience the impacts of climate change every day, from coastal erosion and flooding that is a result of sea level rise. We also experience the impacts of increased hurricanes and storms. Look at Hurricane Beryl that just passed Category 4 over Carriacou. And so it's all about being able to adapt sustainably, or an easier term is adjust to these impacts of climate change. So we want to hear from the public how they have been adapting, whether it's good or maybe bad methods, but we want to be able to understand how they are adapting, and we also want to be able to offer advice that came from various stakeholders in terms of the adaptation process, no matter what sector you're in. It can be tourism, it can be fisheries, it can be agriculture, but the advice that comes from the experts and different stakeholders, we want to share that with them. And the whole purpose, once again, for the sensitization is to ensure that we include the general public in this National Adaptation Plan document, the revised document for 2025 to 2030.
Insights and discussions from these meetings will contribute to the ongoing review of the Grenada National Adaptation Plan, which is being updated by the Ministry of Climate Resilience. Dr. Graham shares the dates for these engagements and encourages everyone to participate.
On Monday 9th, we're going to be in Mount Craven Community Center. On Wednesday 11th September, we're going to be in Grenville Secondary School for St. Andrew. Thursday 12th September, St. John Anglican School, Guave, and this is for St. John and St. Mark. And Monday 16th September, the Canal in St. David. And Tuesday 17th September, Boca Secondary School, St. George. And of course, we cannot forget our Sister Isles, Carriacou and PT Martinique. We will be at the Mermaid, and all meetings start at 5 p.m. We will have representatives from the Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy, of sharing their thoughts and ideas and the role of the National Adaptation Plan. I myself will also be there to discuss the history of the NAP and the outlook of it as well. And then we present the opportunity through different fun activities to hear from the general public about what they've been experiencing in terms of the impacts of climate change, how they've been adapting, whether it's good or it has been a form of maladaptation, and then of course we're there to offer advice, gain their inputs to ensure that we incorporate this into the National Adaptation Plan.
This is the GIS News. When we return, Team Grenada Robotics ready for 2024.
Are you unemployed or looking for a higher earning opportunity? Have you seen a sponsored advertisement on social media, Facebook in particular? Stop. Think about your next move. Things may just be about to take a turn for the worse. It may seem legit, but if it seems too good to be true, it definitely is. Look out for the following red flags. Does the company's name seem unusual or unfamiliar? Do your due diligence. Find out about your proposed new employer by doing your own research. Do not use a link given by the person. Are you required to give your banking and other personal details, full name, account number, telephone number, account type information? Are you being pressured to move with a sense of urgency? Are you required to send monies overseas? Does your pay or commission seem unusually high for the tasks required? Are communication done only through social media, direct messages, without any face-to-face or verbal communication? Is there a hesitancy or refusal to share basic company information, such as website or physical address? Are you being asked to click suspicious links to upload personal data? Do not get involved. You may be partnering with criminals or scammers in the commission of a crime, and you can be charged. Save yourself the embarrassment. Do not go down that road.
Expert, I'm the murderer. Home is where the heart is, where the heart is. I would like to tell nobody I love where I'm born. Yeah. I come from the island. Yeah. This place is so sweet, beautiful and unique. You see where I come from. Yeah. Known as this Spice Island. Somewhere you come. Sweet home, home sweet home, home sweet home. I'm so proud to call you my home. Home sweet home, home sweet home, home sweet home. As soon as wait, come let we eat a island and the corner.
Say welcome home to our superstars.
Yes.
Our sons and our daughters.
Yes.
Who have brought honor to this beautiful land.
I'm so proud to call you my home. Home sweet home. Home sweet home.
So when we say 473 to the world, this is what we mean.
Outside of the island, with the richest part of the island. Yeah, I'll show you where the carrots sleep. Now let's talk about the Juve. Red Job display. That's when our ancestors broke the shackles and set themselves free.
I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to the entire nation, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique, for first off allowing me, Anderson Peters, to represent an entire nation of 120,000 people. And I just want to say again that it doesn't matter which part of the world we are as athletes, home is where the heart is. Listen, this is why we do what we do. For this, for you. It is an absolute pleasure to represent Grenada and to put Grenada on the map once more.
It's all about invoking this feeling right here, this feeling of pride, this feeling of joy, of happiness. So we all have a part to play in terms of making Grenada what it is, to aspire, to build, to advance as one people, one family. May God bless our nation.
For climate change, what is Grenada going to experience? Going to experience water shortage. It's going to experience, particularly after storm hurricanes, the NAWASA system is going to break down, and you need water in between. Rainwater harvesting could help. So rainwater harvesting is not only about getting water for drinking and for use. It is also about minimizing flooding and flood control.
Welcome back. Grenada, as a signatory to the Rotterdam Convention, recently hosted a crucial workshop aimed at addressing the hazards associated with pesticide use. The event, which took place on Tuesday at the Public Workers Union building, followed a 3-day training session on biocontrol methods organized by the Pest Management Unit last week. The workshop attracted a diverse audience, including participants from agronomy divisions, pesticide retail shops, exterminators, and plant quarantine officers. Presentations were delivered by Michael Ramsey, a consultant for the Rotterdam Convention, Dr. Lyndon Telesford from the St. George's University, and Pest Management Officer Thaddeus Peters. The primary goal of the workshop was to enhance awareness about the general use of pesticides, the risk of pesticide poisoning, and effective pesticide management practices. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Isaac Bagwan, hopes this initiative will prompt changes in practices among farmers, pesticide handlers, and the general public.
This brings me to the issues of pesticide regulation. The gaps that exist must be narrowed or eliminated. I must say that we are overdue for a more robust structure for pesticide management here in Grenada. But how do we translate this into the reduced use of highly hazardous pesticide and a safer food for us to consume? Well, the responsibility lies with all stakeholders, hence the reason for this type of engagement. First, there is the consumer with the spending power, who must advocate for wholesome food and safer food. Then there is the producer, who must implement safeguard measures such as good agricultural practices and traceability mechanism to account for the quality of his product. Of course, the quality of food begins from the time you put it into the ground right on until it enters the table. So at different points in the value chain, we have to exercise good practices to make sure that our foods that we produce are wholesome. The public sector role is to ensure that there is a relevant legislative framework in place and to support its implementation and monitoring.
Michael Ramsey is in Grenada fulfilling its Rotterdam Convention task. He said there is a big problem through the Caribbean regarding the proper use and handling of chemicals.
I am here and going on to Barbados to try and encourage use of the information that is available from the convention, and also to encourage that a representative will come from Grenada for the big conference of the parties next year that will make important decisions on highly hazardous pesticides and their management throughout the world. The big problem that I have seen in the Caribbean is that we use a lot of pesticides, but the farmers and others who are using them do not understand that there can be a problem to their health, and also that the users are not protecting themselves with personal protective equipment. Even though they may know about it, they're just not following up by using it. And they need to make better choices as to what pesticides they're going to use, and also to think outside of the chemical box and use other methods for controlling pests than just pesticides.
Pest Management Officer Thaddeus Peters, who is also a member of the Pesticide Control Board, speaks of a regulated list showing some of the pesticides that should be used.
The Act gives guidance on some of the things that should be done. For example, registration of retail outlets. So you know your main retail outlets, registration of pest control operators. So we have a number of pest control operators, but they need to be registered and followed on what they do, where they do, and so on. So these are a few things that really has to really be in place, and of course make the approved list and so on official, you know, by regulation itself. So this hasn't been done in quite a while, so we need to have a fully regulated list of what is permitted and what is banned.
The Rotterdam Convention, an international treaty, aims to facilitate informed decision-making by countries regarding the trade of hazardous chemicals. Grenada's commitment to the convention marks a significant step towards reducing and ultimately eliminating highly hazardous pesticides. An all-girls team will be representing Grenada at the first Global Challenge International Robotics Competition in Athens, Greece, from September 26th to the 29th. This is the first all-girls team for Grenada, underscoring the nation's commitment to promoting gender diversity in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics STEM fields. The first Global Challenge is an Olympic-style international robotics competition that takes place in a different country each year. Jermaine Burke, assistant mentor of the Grenada team Robotics, spoke to GIS about the team's preparation. Burke was part of last year's team, which represented Grenada in Singapore.
This year's theme is Feeding the Future. And what that entails is providing a sustainable development and sustainable access to food and food security. When we look at the world today, we see the fact and the need that food security is not a very prevalent thing in a lot of countries, whether it be first world countries or third world countries or small island developing states such as us here in Grenada and in the CARICOM as well. Feeding the Future aims at solving real-world problems by simplifying it to its core roots and using robotics and mechanics to enhance or simplify these problems and make it approachable for the younger minds.
Burke's experience with the previous team has been instrumental in guiding the current group, and he believes the team has the ability to perform better than last year. Grenada placed 35th out of 100 participating countries in Singapore.
This year we have been preaching to the girls that consistency, reliability, and also double checking is key. One of our faults last year was the fact that because of the pressure we were under due to the unavailability of some of our team members, it was a lot of complications in terms of making sure everything's secured on the robot itself. We had a couple matches where we'd have done great, but we had to sacrifice our position in terms of point scoring to actually make it to the final stages or the final rounds of the individual matches, where we would have the wheels of the robot falling off or certain aspects or certain features of the bot not being able to work efficiently or correctly. So we have been telling the girls and preaching to the girls that, hey, we're going to go up this year with a robot that is functional 100%. I believe that they have what it takes to do better than us, to win awards that we didn't win. They have the ability to, I'd say, win the entire competition.
3 team members told GIS about their preparedness. Sisters Eva and Emma Chuk and Eloise Gooding are going to Greece this year.
As a student, I think it's a really great opportunity to be a part of this team because it's going to help me when I have to go into like universities and apply. I have this to put on my application and to make it look better, and I just feel very proud to represent my country in such a small thing. As Eloise said, it's not really talked about in Grenada, so to be a woman and to be doing this is really nice. With the guidance of our mentors and Jumon, who has been helping us, he traveled last year. I think he really helped us and guided us. So we started with prototyping, and they sent us the theme for this year, and we've been trying to build that, and they have challenges that they've been sending for us, social media challenges and all these stuff that we've been doing in order to prepare for the upcoming competition.
I feel like if I was to look back and tell my younger self that I had this opportunity and I was here today in front of a camera able to share my story, I wouldn't believe myself, because it's really something that coming from, a regular household, you wouldn't think you would find yourself in. But really, if you put yourself out there are opportunities waiting for you. And I think it's really inspiring to see people that's done it before me, and the fact that it's not impossible to do. I really am interested, and I think that Grenada necessarily doesn't offer exactly what I want to do, and I figured getting into robotics would open more opportunities for me towards the future, and I thought it would be a great step, and it really turned out to be. I'm really interested in physics, and robotics has really guided me along those lines and helped me learn a few things.
It feels almost like unreal, like being able to represent such like my small island in such like a big competition of like over 190 countries. It's a feeling that like I don't think I could ever feel like this again, to have the opportunity to represent Grenada with something that isn't extremely isn't too large in our country, so to be able to bring awareness to something that should be recognized, because it's something that's not talked about often, and as a young woman we have like a voice, and we're going to use our voice as young women to bring awareness to robotics.
Eloise Gooding, who is also the team's PRO, said her team is raising funds towards which will assist them in their accommodations.
In efforts to reach as far as Greece, we have to do a bit of fundraising, and so we can see on the screen in the back there we have our Team Grenada merch on sale. So you can email us, find us on Instagram. The handle is right there, and it should be the same for Facebook. You can just look for the name SpiceBot on Facebook. We also have a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to where we post content and other things, and you can email as well, or you could reach out to any team member, me, Eva, Emma, or any team member to find out about the t-shirts. It's not more than $55 for any print.
The team is scheduled to leave the island on September 23rd. The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, is partnering with an Eastern Caribbean level to formulate and finalize various project proposals as part of its resource mobilization initiative. ICA's technical specialist for Grenada, Gregory Del Sol, says considering the high volume of devastation caused to the agriculture sector following Hurricane Beryl 1 month ago, it is imperative that supplies and other resources are provided to member states to boost the industry. He was at the time looking at the strategies and measures that can be implemented to promote development in the sector. One plan, he said, is to revive the Youth in Agriculture program.
So that is where our focus is going to be in this new, dispensation, you'd call it, to focus on resource mobilization and partnership with other institutions like FAO, who we have a rich history of working with, to do concrete things that the government wants us to do. Because at the end of the day, our main partner is the Ministry of Agriculture. So we really lean on them. We really rely on them to tell us what it is they want to do and how we could come up with strategies to work on the things that they want to work on. So that's the plan, to work, push, make real efforts in terms of raising resources to implement some of the work on the ground. We're also looking to support, to revitalize the Youth in Agriculture network.
A few years ago, the government of Mexico donated some disease-resistant coconut plants to Grenada to assist in the resuscitation of the crop. However, coconut trees and the resuscitation program were dealt a serious blow by Hurricane Beryl. Del Sol assured that ICA will work on revitalizing the program in the near future.
Coconuts suffered severe impact as well, both in Carriacou and on the mainland. We, some years ago, had started providing support. Through the government of Mexico, we would have provided a quantity of disease-resistant tissue culture plants to the ministry to support the revitalization of the coconut subsector. We are open to supporting that again. There have been discussions, I think, with the government of Guyana and I think also with ICA Brazil to see how we could, and Mexico as well, to see if we, once the ministry is in, request that, so we could support bringing in additional planting material to support the rehabilitation, resuscitation of coconuts as well.
This is the GIS News for Wednesday, September 4th. When we return, the sports highlights.
Football fans, get ready! The CONCACAF Nations League is back, and the action is coming to the Kirani James Athletics Stadium. Mark your calendars for 2 back-to-back match days that will have you on the edge of your seat. On September 6th, it's a doubleheader you won't want to miss. At 5 p.m., it's St. Lucia versus Curacao, followed by Grenada taking on St. Martin at 8 p.m. The excitement doesn't stop there. On September 9th, Curacao battles St. Martin at 5 p.m. And then Grenada faces St. Lucia at 8 p.m. Tickets are just $25 for adults and $10 for children. Grab yours at Chucky's Bar, Grenadian Optical, Gittins Healthcare Pharmacy, the GFA office, or online at gotofet.com. And yes, tickets will be available at the gate. So bring the whole family and let's rally around our senior men's national team, the CONCACAF Nations League. Football like you've never experienced before.
Well, at this time of the year, we do expect rainfall events because we will be affected by systems such as tropical wave passing through. We will have the presence of the ITCZ in our area, and we might even have tropical cyclones, whether it's depression or storm. Okay? So what we would expect is we will have big rain events. Okay? No matter how dry or wet the season is, we are going to have big rain events. So therefore it is important for every household to have some bit of water stored, because these big rain events normally put us pressure on the NAWASA system. For example, we have landslides that will take away pipes. We may have heavy rainfall that would block the dams and so forth, and so your regular supply will be interrupted. So it is so important for every household to have the recommended 3 days storage of potable water in the household for such eventualities.
Young basketballers in Grenada have just concluded a 3-day camp at the Laborie Sporting Complex, which was designed to teach the game at the grassroots level. It was a partnership between the Grenada National Basketball Association and John Wiggins from Toronto Raptors, who is also the CEO and co-founder of the Canadian charity organization Focus Dream Forward. Mr. Wiggins says the charity's aim is to help nurture youth skills and development through basketball and academic learning.
The Caribbean is just this untapped pool of resources. It's also an untapped pool of talent. And what we want to identify is how we can develop a lot of these youth, a lot of these coaches, and a lot of the future leaders of tomorrow by going around to all of the islands and using these camps as a way of introducing them to programming, life lessons, disciplines that will carry forward regardless of whether or not they're going to be an athlete, regardless of whether or not they're going to be an NBA player.
the things that sports can teach them is going to show them how they can be successful in life. So we're using our camps, we're going all over the Caribbean as much as we can, and really just trying to show the future leaders of the Caribbean what they can do to help their islands.
More than 40 primary and secondary school students ages 8 to 15 from different parishes participated in the camp, the second of its kind. Focus Dream Forward is going around the Caribbean teaching basketball at the grassroots level.
Over the 3-day period, we had participation from 9 of our local coaches, along with 5 of the coaches from Canada. They've held camp before in St. Lucia, Trinidad, Antigua, and now they're expanding into other Caribbean countries.
That's the president of the Grenada National Basketball Association, Kester Elcock. He says the plan is to continue with the program.
Out of this program, the Basketball Association, our plan is to have a similar thing every holiday. So we're actually planning now, in the planning stage, of having one for December holiday, the first week of December holiday, and then one for the Easter, taking on a similar nature of how this camp. What we did actually, we brought players from, like I said, all around Grenada. Transportation was provided for them, and they were able to have meals, refreshment, everything was provided for them. One of the things which was very good from this camp is that each of the participants got a basketball to take back to their community, which augurs well for the development of the sport at the grassroots level. So yes, I said our plan is to continuously having a program of a similar nature, so that we can really grow basketball at the grassroots level, both in the primary and Form 1 and 2 in the secondary schools.
Turning now to cricket, St. Lucia Kings continued their impressive start to the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League with a dominant 7-wicket victory over Antigua and Barbuda Falcons on Tuesday. Chasing 143 in Antigua, Captain Duplessis got the Kings off to a flyer before they ramped to the target with 18 balls to spare. It was a far less eventful chase for Kings than their remarkable season opening win over St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. But it was more heartache for the Falcons, who suffered a 4th straight defeat in their debut season. Final scores in the match: St. Lucia Kings 143 for 3 in 17 overs, and Antigua and Barbuda Falcons made 142 for 7 in 20 overs. In related news, the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League has launched Live and Louder, a new and exciting events platform that will sit alongside all CPL's current cricket tournaments for both men and women. A report on windyscricket.com states that the new brand will see the party vibes that CPL is so famous for expanded to include events that capture the best aspects of Caribbean culture, starting with music, but with broader plans to include other genres such as food and fashion. The first of 3 events will see world-class music artists appearing at all 4 St. Lucia Kings home matches. The games will not only feature fantastic cricket, but be a chance for fans to watch some of the biggest artists from St. Lucia performing live, all of which will be included as part of the match day ticket. The windyscricket.com report says these shows will take place at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground between the 7th and 15th of September. And finally, in football, in the results of GFA First Division matches played on Tuesday, St. David FC defeated Havant FC 5-4. North Stars defeated St. Andrews Football League 2-1. And Happy Hill FC defeated Class Herb Roots 3-2. I am Kristen Mitchell with the GIS Sports Roundup. A recap of the headlines: NAWASA strengthens water systems in preparation for increased demands and upcoming dry season. Health Minister calls on Grenadians to be more supportive and compassionate towards healthcare providers. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us.
Aviation.